show, and that's exactly what they're going to see.
200 laps, 500 miles is the start distance. And the race will be run in 3 stages of 65, 65, and 70 laps. Now, each of those stages are longer than the cars can go on fuel, so we'll have at least one pit stop in every stage. Well, we know they built a few of the new Toyota Camry XSE, one in that feature, and here's one out here leading the field. Big lower grill area with C-shaped corner vents, a hood with new character lines and duct exits, updated thinner tail lights. Cool piece in showrooms this summer.
Well, the coolest piece is that nose on that Camry that it pushes really, really well.
On the race car.
On the race car.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't push the pace car.
Big difference that Bobby's made in what we've seen down here at Daytona.
All right, Joey Logano, the pole sitter, has chosen the outside lane for the start. Here is Michael McDowell alongside.
You've done a great job all week. Do what we came here to do. Just great effort. 500 miles. What we all dreamed of. Daytona 500. That's getting it bigger, any cooler, any better than this. So take it in, enjoy it. Let's go do what we came here to do.
That's a confidence you don't always hear in Michael McDowell, but you hear it at Daytona. Daytona 500 champ, boy knows how to get this thing to the end of this thing and be a part of that picture when you come off of turn 4 for that magical moment.
Yeah, the one thing I've really noticed about Michael is he's just become that leader. When he talks and he tries to do the things that he does, he's very calm, like you say, but he's become a leader. And you've seen this team progress over the last couple of years. They just keep getting better and better, and they've been rewarded by Ford with that Tier 1 support and all the things that they're going to get from their manufacturer as well.
Now, good luck to the spotters up on the roof above us, 3/4 of a mile away from where these cars are now, telling those 2 yellow cars apart if they both stay up front.
Well, one's got hearts all over it.
Oh, well,
I mean, surely we can pick the ones with the hearts out, don't you think?
All right. Well, I want to know Kevin, what's your heart rate right now compared to last year's Daytona 500 in the seat of the number 4?
My heart rate's still high because I know what those guys are feeling coming to the green flag. The anticipation, your heart rate, and that's one thing that we will talk about as this race starts is the anxiety of coming to the green flag at the Daytona 500.
Off turn 4 in the 31-degree banking in the 1,200-foot short chute. Pace car will take a hard left turn now. And they will face the green flag for 200 laps, 500 miles to start the 2024 season. Green flag, the Daytona.
Let's get this race started.
Still building speed in the back straightaway.
Well, they're building speed, Mike, but the one thing I can tell you about the start of this race that all the drivers are going through is going to be experiencing the speed of the pack that they haven't experienced all week. All 40 cars in the pack, they've only raced against half the field so far, and right now they're all lined up, building speed, but speed that they haven't felt before this week.
I think this weather's going to play a role in it. Mike, you told us about the weather. Sun's out. You can see it shining down on this racetrack and on these cars. These boys are going to have their hands full here in a few laps, and these things start slipping and sliding around. The tires wear out.
And after 2 solid days of soaking rain, you don't want to end up in that infield grass. That will be a difficult escape.
Well, we qualified at night. We raced in the duels at night. You see the sun shining like Clint is going, like Clint is talking about, and these guys are going to experience that as they get 10, 12, 15 laps into this run. But the thing I can tell you is it will also go through a bigger swing today because of the fact that we're starting in the sun and going to end in the dark.
They're lined up like the pace lap, but they're doing 186 miles an hour.
Man, Clint, there is nothing like the sound of these race cars when they come by you, and you hear those cars come by our cameras and rattling the cameras, and the speed of the cars as they go down the back straightaway there. There is nothing like it, and the drivers are still a little bit tense.
Well, right now it's bumper to bumper. Traffic as we know it, right? Nowhere to go, just follow the leader. Shortly, you're going to start seeing, we got a pair of Fords in the front, Toyota's the second row. You see a Penske car, you know that's a Logano teammate. These boys are going to start finding each other. It's just a matter of when and how.
And it's just like they experienced Thursday night. The beginning of this race is really, how does my car feel? Is it hitting the ground? Am I comfortable in the seat, steering? And we see the same excitement that little guy sees in the grandstands watching our screen right here.
The other thing about this race in particular, you know, we watched the duels. I heard you say that. That's a half a field, half a pack. This is the first time all of these guys have felt their cars running this speed. Larry showed us how much of a difference just one car makes behind. Can you imagine a whole field? 40 cars back there making it.
All right, here's the first breakout up in turn number 3, 3 wide, about 7 or 8 rows back. Things starting to move in mid-pack. Ross Chastain was the first to break out to the outside. There you see his blue and white number 1 with Josh Berry behind him.
Well, that's the two strategies that the other drivers are on in the back of the pack. How do I get to the front? You know, and Ross Chastain's like, man, I'm going to tow this pack with me. And you see a lot of guys in that outside line lined up behind him, wanting to be aggressive and get to the front of this pack fast.
Well, he ain't the only one either. Other guys will get greedy. You see Brad Keselowski in that 6 car jumped up in front of him. He won't be the only one coming to the front.
John Hunter Nemechek, the 42. He's looking up high. Maybe perhaps trying to hold both the middle and the high lane back in his 42.
Can't be iffy in these decisions, Kevin. That spotter says clear up, you better be there.
Oh, crash! 2 cars slam together, and Harrison Burton takes a wild ride through the grass and up into more traffic, gets tagged, turned around, and 5 cars are in it.
Holy moly, what a crash right there. That's first caution.
Big damage on the 21 car.
And Carson Hocevar, the rookie, gets taken out into that
77 car is wrecked.
in the ball field.
And the 21 car is wrecked as well.
Trying for their 100th ever NASCAR win, and Harrison Burton gets tagged and sent.
Well, this is exactly what you don't want to see happen. Something early in this race where everybody's trying to race hard. We just talked about those guys going to that third lane, and it puts those guys in the middle lane in a bad spot with the handling of their cars that they hadn't really been in. Let's see what happened, Clint.
Watch the 21, Harrison Burton.
Okay, you see Harrison Burton in the middle of that 3 wide conversation we're talking about, and we are also talking about John Hunter Nemechek kind of being iffy on his moves.